All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join us here today for another great topic. We are live on Coach Eli 22222, Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams, the future home of most, if not all of my live streams. If you haven't heard, this channel is getting closer and closer to getting monetized each and every day. So that's pretty exciting. But forget about that for right now. We have a great topic to discuss, and we need to make sure, first of all, that the show is rolling smoothly out on YouTube. So give me a second to ensure it is rolling properly. YouTube, where is the notification? Well, let's check out the back end, and then we'll check out the phone to see if the notification went out. The back end of YouTube seems to be rolling smoothly, and the notification has gone out. All right, we're going to get right to it here today. Not a whole lot of community news to discuss here, but yeah, the day that we're recording this, or the day that we're streaming this live, is Wednesday, June 29th, 2022. But if you're here on the replay, don't worry, don't fret. This show is going to have tremendous replay value because we're going to be talking about relationships and how being more similar to each other is better than not, and how, I feel, and we'll see how my lady feels about this in a second, how I feel that opposites really do not attract in most circumstances. My lady is standing by live on the StreamYard behind the scenes. So let's bring her on the front lines. Please welcome back to the show, my beautiful, amazing, wonderful lady, Babe. We're going to give you a big round of applause again. Welcome to the show, baby. Welcome.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to whoever's out there. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're beginning to realize, baby, that we have a global audience out here on YouTube, and it may be morning in some areas, it may be afternoon in other areas, and in some areas it's evening or nighttime, right?
Yep.
You know what I love about you the most, babe? You want to know what I love about you the most?
Please tell.
She's like, oh man, my man's going to butter me up so that way the show runs smoothly. Yes, baby, but I actually mean this. You are one of the most considerate people that I've ever met, and that is a quality that I share, and I think that's one of the main reasons why you and I get along and things work so well between us, because we're so considerate to other people's feelings, wants, and needs. At times, we put other people above us, which is not really the greatest thing to do because we have to take care of ourselves first before we can take care of others. But that's what I really love about you. You're very, very considerate. So thank you for that, baby.
Well, no, thank you for recognizing that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm all about positive reinforcement and uplifting people and acknowledging their greatness. So anyway, look who's back in the chat today. It's 7777. Hi, Coach. Time to rock and roll. And furthermore, he says, big fan of evergreen content myself. Absolutely. That's all I've been trying to create out here on YouTube is evergreen content where people can learn if they're watching a live stream live or a year or 2 or 5 or 10 years down the road. That's what it's all about. So far, we got 7 people in the box, babe, and 7 likes already. That is awesome, baby. Awesome. Yeah. So the topic of today's show, babe, this is another topic that my lady suggested. She has become in charge of, creating the topics and finding the material that we're going to be using. Thank you for that, babe. The topic of today's show is relationships are best between people of similar desirability. One more time. Relationships are best between people of similar desirability. Now, baby, why did you choose this topic and find a few blogs regarding this topic? And what does this topic mean to you as a prelude before we get to the actual first blog here?
All right. Well, as I've shared in the past, I've had other relationships where I am more liberal, left, and I've been with somebody who's more right wing. And so our disagreements, our conversations never ever came to a close. Like we never agreed to disagree. It was all toxic. And I think if you find somebody that's similar in your life, similar values, beliefs, you have a better chance of resolving any conflict you have in that relationship.
Right, right. And let me give you an example regarding my experiences, babe. Talking to women through online dating sites and apps over the years and the decades. Women that I ended up not meeting or going out with, even though they seemed like a nice lady. They seemed like nice ladies, and they were cute too. Let me tell you, there are, like, for example, one of the best examples I can think of is I came across this lady many years ago that really enjoyed scuba diving, and she loved going down to the Monterey Bay Area, which is a little bit south of where you and I live in Central California. Beautiful area, right? And I'm not into scuba diving. I don't have any desire to ever go scuba diving. It's just not for me, but it was something that was completely important to her. And because of that, I decided to not meet with her, even though when we talked, we had, great conversation on the phone. She was attractive. She seemed like a decent person. I didn't want to be the guy that wasn't going to support or go scuba diving with her. And let me know what you think about this, baby, because I'm sure you've been through this yourself as well. You don't want to be the lady that doesn't like something that your man really likes and enjoys doing most of the time. And you want to be sitting out while he's out there doing that, with his friends. On the flip side, I wouldn't want to be with a woman that enjoys doing something that I don't enjoy, and that she would be spending most of her time doing it with her friends while I do other things. That would keep us further apart. Does that make sense there? I mean, I think this is something that people just don't seem to understand.
Yes, in a relationship, you need to have common hobbies and similarities. You have to find things that you both want to do together. That way, you're not being separate from each other. You are both embracing something you both enjoy to do. Like, okay, for instance, I love playing darts. And you, you know, you've come out there, we've done it a little bit, and it's not that bad. And same vice versa with the hikes. I'm trying my hardest, but it wasn't something I did in the beginning. But we're both trying because we appreciate each other, and we are appreciating those hobbies together.
Yeah, but here's the thing, babe. I actually enjoy darts and pool, and I love all those bar games, or especially if you go to a nice sporting bar, they're gonna have pool tables, they're gonna have dart boards, etc. I actually do enjoy doing that. My thing is more so doing it in a more upscale bar environment rather than a um,
Guys,
dive bar type of environment where you're dealing with, and I hate to say this, I don't mean to be rude, you're dealing with a lot of trashy people there that I don't resonate with. And this is no disrespect to trashy people. I mean, everyone has a place, but I like to surround myself with more positive people.
yeah, that was like my situation last night where I do my dart league. Usually it's a very positive place, but there was an individual there that really was bringing down the positivity, and he is trash. And he you know, I basically made the decision, and I told the coordinator of the dart league that any week I'm playing this individual, I will not be here, because I will not be subjected to all of his negativity and the rudeness that he's putting out. This is supposed to be a good, fun loving environment, and he's bringing it down.
Right.
So,
Right. Right. And you know what, babe?
basically, yeah.
Go ahead. Go
Well,
ahead. Oh, I was
I
gonna
was gonna,
say, you know,
I was just basically saying to the coordinator, how valuable am I? Because I've been here for 5 years playing, and this is his first time. So, how valuable am I? Are you going to shut this down? Are you going to make him stop?
mhm.
Because that's the best way to approach it. She needs to talk to him, say, you know what? This is not a place to air out your feelings against other people. You want to do that? You talk to them privately.
Yeah, and you know what, baby? Here's the thing. I think we should create a show to discuss what happened because, you know, there's a lot more to discuss regarding that situation and how to better handle that situation. Because a lot of the stuff that has happened to myself and you out here on YouTube actually happens in real life in different ways, but it's very similar. But the answer on how to handle it is the same way. And let's not get into that now. We could save that for another show. Who knows? Maybe even later tonight, maybe we do a 30-minute brief live stream here on Coach Eli 2 and talk about it if we have the energy. If not, maybe we can do that tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But I totally get, you know, what you're saying there. But yeah, relationships, for me, have worked best with women that enjoy similar types of music, women that grew up, you know, around the same time I did. That's why typically I've never dated a woman younger than 7 years younger than me because it's too big of a generational gap. Nowadays, we are dealing with the millennial and post-millennial I generation, Gen Z, Gen Y millennial, Gen Z, post-millennial I generation. We're dealing with the hugest generation gap in our world's history, in my opinion. And so for me to, you know, date someone, you know, younger than 7 years younger than me, you're getting into millennial territory. So basically, age 41 and up is Gen X, age 40 and below down to 25, I believe, is, you know, Gen Y millennial, and they're being raised differently. They watch different shows they watch different shows growing up. They listen to different music growing up. Now, some of them, you know, like to listen to some of the music you and I grew up with, but most of them don't. So you have to take all of that into consideration when seeking, you know, a partner nowadays. When you have so many differences with music, if you're driving to go away for the weekend, like we're doing this weekend, when you have such a difference, let's say in the type of music you listen to, you're going to be arguing over what songs you hear, you know, in your car on the drive, right, baby? And it's better to just be with someone that enjoys similar things. That's what I feel.
Yes. And I want to give some props out to my millennial. She does really appreciate old school music. She actually purchased tickets for her and I to go to a Dolly Parton concert because she loves old school country as much as she loves the new country, and she loves every other genre of music. And
Right.
that is where I think I really learned my love for music, because she broadened my horizon of what I was listening to.
Did you say
And
Verizon or did you mean to say Horizon?
my horizon, I'm sorry, I said horizon, but at that point, Bochi hit the phone.
Oh, no
Um,
worries. It kind of sounds like because you have Verizon telephone service, maybe it was on a 40 slip. It doesn't matter. It's all good, baby.
oh no,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. He literally tapped the phone. He was jumping off the bed. But anyways, yeah, broaden my horizon of different genres, and as well as my very good friend that lives in Sacramento, she has also opened my eyes to so much, and she is a millennial as well.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I really do. You know, I have such a great love for music, and I don't like to be just stuck in one era. I like to appreciate everything from, back in the day to today.
Right.
These artists
No,
out there right now are just, they are artists. They are just so inspiring.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you're getting me back into some newer music, baby, because I've been so stuck in the 80s and 90s R&B and hip hop and a little bit of rap that I got to reopen my
And country,
horizons and
and the
country,
90s country.
90s country. I'm hooked on that. And there's been a lot of great music released lately. But anyway, babe, let me read a couple chat messages here, and then we're going to get right to the first of two blogs. They're not the longest blogs, so we're going to get through the first one, take a break, and then come back and do the second one after the break. 7777 says, my problem with desirability is being too self-conscious of my smile. I'm a lifelong smoker, and I'm afraid my yellow teeth turns women off, but it's probably just in my head. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you want to take care of yourself as best as possible. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has flaws. But, stay healthy and fit, eat right. If you drink occasionally in moderation. As far as smoking goes, not the healthiest thing in the world, but I understand many people do it. But here's the thing. You can always, take care of situations like with teeth. You can go to the dentist. I know it's expensive and it's a pain in the ass, but you can go to the
There's
dentist.
tons of over the counter whitening.
There's whitening and stuff. And if you need other work,
Yes.
you can get it done. I understand. Like I said, it is expensive, and a dental insurance doesn't cover everything 100%. Typically, if you do orthodontic type of work, it's 50%. So yeah, you got to save up for it and get it done. And once you get it done, start taking better care of yourself. Maybe smoke less or quit smoking, and that will help you out. But here's the thing, bro. A lot of people think women are not gonna accept people, for a flaw here or there. As long as you're a decent guy, there's going to be a woman out there that's going to accept you. And I believe, I think you said you're either dating someone or you're married. Is that the case? I can't remember. You were mentioning this the other day. But yeah, here's the thing, bro. If you just be yourself, and you meet a woman and you attract her and she accepts you, just understand she accepts all of you because she's checked all of you out. And the more attention you bring to it, or the more self-conscious you are to that flaw, then that's going to make you come off insecure, and your insecurities regarding that or anything is what will turn her off. So just stay confident, work with what you've got and keep it positive, and that's the best way to attract and keep a woman around regarding that aspect. All right, baby, ready to get right to it?
Yeah, one other note though on that.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, if you can't afford the dentist, go and check out your local drugstore. There's tons of whitening stuff out there that is affordable. And you just
And
got to do it
Amazon,
every day diligently.
right? Amazon would be a good place to do it as well, baby. Amazon has great stuff. A
Yes,
local drugstore
absolutely.
will,
Let's plug Amazon.
like, Amazon is like the king and queen of finding anything you need, and with same day or next day or 2 day, delivery at the most, it's amazing. A 7777 says, thanks, coach. I'm divorced and on the market. No, I get it, bro. Trust me, man. Put yourself out there. Be a good guy. Be a cool, down to earth, confident alpha male that is not a sissy and not arrogant, and dress nice, smell nice, and just be a good dude. And you will attract a good woman. I mean, it's going to take some work.
And
It's not. Go
and
ahead.
don't focus on your own insecurities with the woman, because once
Right.
you point them out, she's gonna focus on them.
Oh yeah. Oh
Let
yeah.
her just fall in love with you without you pointing out the insecurities.
And with no disrespect, baby, women are insecure enough naturally at a biological level. They're looking at your security to offset their uncertainties and their insecurities. And if you're insecure, that's like not going to work for a woman. What's it going to do for her? It's going to only make her more insecure, which makes her more annoyed, right? So
Well,
that,
it means
yeah,
we have just a harder job in this relationship. It's like almost taking care of a child at that point, and not just being in a relationship where we both take care of each other.
right. Absolutely. 7777 says, oh, yes, those whitening strips, very good suggestion. Absolutely. All right, let's get to this blog here. We're going to switch on over to the browser source. And ooh, I have this thing scrolled down a bit too far. Okay. I think there we are. All right. It'll pop up on your screen there in a second due to the delay, babe. But let's get right to it. This is from the website psychs.org, phys.org. And the title is Relationships Are Best Between People of Similar Desirability, Study Finds. One more time. Relationships are best between people of similar desirability, study finds. This was actually, wow, this is quite new, baby. June 21st, 2022. That was 8 days ago, baby. Wow, this is very, very new and relevant, huh?
Yes.
And I guess this was written by, it says, by University of Missouri. Okay. Well, I guess a lot of people contributed to this. Let's get right to it here. Why? Oh, this is what sucks here. The way it's formatted. Give me a second here.
Oof.
There we go. I have to do that because it looks like the social share things are getting in the way. So hopefully that's big enough there for you to see on your big TV, baby, once I
Yeah,
zoom
it's
back.
good, baby.
Okay. Everyone remembers those old high school movies where the ultra nerdy teenage boy falls in love with the most beautiful girl in the whole school. It doesn't work that way anymore. And it never really actually worked that way. What you see on TV and in the movies is a fantasy. That's all it is. It's a fucking fantasy. The movie begins with the girl not knowing anything about the geeky leading man that most women consider a strong partner, but by the end, she's fallen for him too. It is a classic romantic movie formula. It's a bunch of crap. However, new research from the University of Missouri suggests these relationships might be best left to the movies. Let's talk about that for a second, baby. When you and I were growing up, we had all of those movies, where, you have the ultra geeky guy that has a slick back, gelled hair. Remember that hair gel that guys would abuse back in the 80s and 90s, right? And,
Yeah.
they're very smart and geeky dudes. And, throughout the entire movie, they're chasing the hot chick. The hot chick is not giving in to the guy. The hot chick has basically friend zoned them. And then he keeps chasing and chasing and chasing, getting her flowers, getting her gifts, getting her everything. And at the end of the movie, he gets the girl. But in real
Well,
life, that
basically what
shit
he
in real,
does
and
is
what, well,
basically
hold
what
on.
he does is becomes her best friend.
Yes, but that's not what attracts women to want to bang you, baby. Go ahead.
Oh, sweetheart, no. Like, when you find a man that's going to be there for you and do everything like that and is your best friend, That's the biggest turn on. That's why the hot girl eventually falls for this guy.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think what women more so really want nowadays is a guy like that that is also a confident man and is very secure, not needy, not desperate, not weak, right? And a lot of these nerdy guys, they display weak, needy, desperate, and insecure behavior. And chasing a woman after she hasn't, if a woman doesn't, give into you romantically, at first sight, she's never really going to feel that way truly for you, in my opinion. And it should be a fact. And so when these guys are chasing these women throughout the entire movie, or any guys that do this in real life, it's basically you displaying weak, needy, desperate, and insecure behavior, because it's telling that woman that there aren't any other women that want you, so you're just desperately trying to get her. Do you understand how it comes off, baby? I understand you may be different.
Oh, yeah, no. And I do have an actual situation for this
Okay.
that actually contradicts what I was saying. So my daughter was in high school several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and she had a friend, and I'm just going to refer to him as R. And so R and her were very close. He had a girlfriend, but they just became best friends. And then R and his woman broke up. And so my daughter like really was there for him during that time. And then they started to date. And she eventually lost her virginity to him. And after that happened, he bounced to never talk to her again.
How did that make her feel?
Used,
Mm-hmm.
used, thrown out like trash,
Mm-hmm.
because she gave the most precious thing a young girl has to him, and he threw it
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. And you know what, baby? Here's the thing. I'm not trying to take anything away from a woman's virginity and even a man's virginity, but a woman's virginity has always been looked at as the most precious thing. And man's virginity, if a man's a virgin, he's a loser. If a woman's a virgin, she's a prize, right? This is how things were back in the days of traditionalism. Now that we are in the modern world, when, with women, fighting for equal rights and getting them, it's an equal playing field. So I don't look at, I'm not trying to take anything away from women, and I'm not trying to shame women in any way. I'm actually on the side of women, from an equal standpoint, that, hey, is a woman's virginity really as valuable as it was during the days of traditionalism? It really isn't. Now, I know some kids are raised more old school, like yours were, right? And I can
Yes.
understand how she feels, but quite frankly, most people don't marry the first person they sleep with, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, or the
Yeah,
10th,
and
right?
it was all the way until she was like 17 and a half in her senior year that this happened.
Okay, I get
So
it.
yeah, I
I,
want to say she wasn't like slutting out or anything. She saved herself to an appropriate age to experiment, and just this guy took advantage of her.
well, yeah, and again, that's going to happen. But at that age, you don't expect it because you have no experience. You have to go through it
Exactly.
in order to be able to identify it. And see, you and I'm 48, you're 47. We're very well experienced in the dating world. We know how it is. That's another reason why you and I work, baby, because we know what we want and we know what we don't want. And we also know how to identify what we want and don't want much easier than a 17-year-old, right?
Yeah, the communication is there.
Right. Anyway, let's continue because we got some more to go through here. Excuse me. Sean Prahl, an assistant professor of anthropology in the College of Arts and Science, traveled to northwest Namibia in southern Africa to study the behavior of Himba, a group of semi-nomadic agro-pastoralists. There he found that not only are people who are similarly desirable more likely to enter into a relationship, but they are also more likely to experience success with that relationship. While in northern Namibia, I can't even pronounce that, he interviewed people about the desirability of others in the community. With this information, they estimated everyone's mate value, a metric describing how likely people are to want to be in a relationship with someone. Then they analyzed their relationship status. Let me read a little bit more and we'll comment on this, okay? They found people with similar mate values were more likely to enter into a relationship with each other, and they also had better relationship outcomes. Prahl said, this is different than most research about desirability as it focuses on people's actions and less on their stated preference, which can be influenced by social pressures. Here's a big problem, baby. Social pressure is one of the biggest things that hinders people from getting what they want, right? And sometimes people will date someone just for the social status instead of looking to see how compatible they are based on how many similarities they have compared to differences. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to add to that? Or is that it?
No, I mean, I totally agree with this.
Okay. I guess we'll just continue because it was
Yeah,
so
no,
beautifully
I mean,
stated by the blog author,
yeah,
myself, and you just agreed. It just makes sense, right?
yeah,
Okay. We were interested in this because much of the anthropological work on human mating patterns are based on only people's preferences. Prahl said, this research focuses on people's actions. Sure, you might say you'd prefer someone that's deemed really desirable, but that's heavily impacted by societal norms. What do you do in that relationship? How does it actually go? That I think they meant to say that's what we were looking at. They wrote that. That's what we were looking at. Before the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019, Prahl and his research partner, Brooke Skelza, a professor of anthropology at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. I'm a Stanford fan from the Bay Area. We're not the biggest UCLA fans. Just had to mention that. Would spend more than a month each summer living with Himba pastoralists to research human behavior. So, baby, what are your thoughts about this so far? They've done a lot of research. This research is actually pretty good research compared to what most people are putting out there and basing it on research saying that opposites attract. And I completely disagree.
absolutely.
I don't feel opposites attract really at all. I think I think a lot of times people get together based on physical attractiveness and then they have great sex, but there's nothing else there in the tank. There's no mental
Yeah, it
connection.
all
There's no,
starts with
there's
the
a,
lust.
well, yeah, baby. Let me finish my thought before you jump in. If that's okay. Let's try to get better at that. I'm sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
They don't look into it's all about physical attractiveness, getting, like you said the other day, a guy getting his nut off, a woman getting off, right? We all have needs. So you want to find the most attractive, person, whether you're a man or a woman, to have sex with, right? And you have great sex,
Yeah,
but what else is there? Is there a mental connection? Are you mentally stimulated by each other's conversations and words? Are you bonding emotionally? Are you bonding spiritually? That's what's happening. And that's why I think a lot of people say opposites attract. Maybe sexually opposites attract, but there's besides sexually, the more similar you are to someone, the better you're going to get along. Sorry, go ahead, baby. What are your thoughts now?
And now in this modern world with phones, and we have these computers in our hands, we're able to see how people are so unconnected to their partners. When we go out to dinner and both people are sitting there and on their phones, not engaging, not having
Mm-hmm.
conversations, that just shows there's nothing left in the tank for them.
Right.
You know, you and I, we put our phones down. I mean, you will check if you get a buzz because of business, but you don't stay
Or
on
emergency.
there.
Or family
Or an
emergency,
emergency.
baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
course. Uh, Same with myself. But we don't sit there and scroll through social media or, you know, YouTube or Twitter or watch programs while we're sitting at dinner. And a lot of families I've seen while we've been out are doing that. So there's no connection in their relationship.
Right. You're absolutely right. Let's continue, baby. Those were some good thoughts there, and thank you for sharing them. 777. I can't even say your name. 7777 says truth bombs. One more time, baby. What is it?
Truth bombs.
Yeah, we're bringing back the truth bombs to the Coach Eli television network. All right. We're almost actually done with this first blog. We're at 36 minutes. We're going to take an early break and come back and do the second half. And it might be a shorter show, baby. That's great. The quicker we get through the material we
Fantastic.
present, the better. The better for the people, the better
Yeah,
for
we're
us. And
doing great, baby.
oh, baby, this is phenomenal. I love our synergy so much. Our synergy is incredible. Got 12 people in the box, 27 likes. It's all good. This is great. Fantastic. All right. Prahl has spent 5 years studying the population. During that time, he and his team have analyzed data about marriage, parenting decisions, child health, food insecurity, and even how choosy people are with their partners. Well, they're choosy based on physical attractiveness 100%. And while that is important to initially attract someone, it's not what's going to keep people around. Looks will get you in the door, but it's the mental, emotional, and spiritual that will keep you together. We'll talk more about that in a second. Let me continue here, baby. While much of his prior research is specific to this population, Prahl said the findings from this study can be applied to a broader context. He said the characteristics of the population were perfect for the type of information they were gathering. So what are your thoughts about that, baby?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I was married. A big part of our destruction of our marriage was our parenting decisions. Um, and like that was a huge thing. Not child health. We both were positive about our child's health as far as immunizations. There was no food insecurity, but and I think it had a lot to do with people you choose to have in your life as well, your friends. And that makes a big impact on your relationship because if your friends are completely opposite of your partner, that's a huge influence.
Right.
They can
Right.
manipulate you to not believe in what your partner's doing and destroy your relationship. So yeah, that is very critical.
Yeah, and you know what, baby? Again, I'm thinking either tonight or tomorrow night we do a brief 30 to 45-minute show. You know, even if we started at 7:30, 7 or 7:30, Pacific time, it's only going to be half an hour to 45 minutes. We can talk more about this because you had an experience last night that is a perfect story to share. And we've kind of talked about the situation in the past. And, the importance of, how your friends interact with your partner, how they think about him, how they feel about him or her, if it's on the flip side. It is important. But you also have to understand that some people are jealous and are just projecting. And those are people that you may have to eliminate as friends if they're going to treat you that way. Are they really true friends if they're just trying to destroy your relationship because they're jealous of what you have because they don't have it and they want it, right? So we'll do that show either later tonight, probably more than likely tomorrow, because maybe we'll just use this, I'm going to do a walking stream after this show ends, and then we should probably get some really good extra rest tonight, and you and I will do 2 pieces of content tomorrow, and I'm going to do the third one with another walk. All right, let's get to the last couple paragraphs here, baby, before we take our first break here, or our only break. We're at 40 minutes, almost 41 minutes. This was a great population to look at these questions because everyone knows each other and most date and marry within the population, Pross said. You can ask them how much they'd like to be in a relationship with a specific person because they actually know that person. That's how people have been partnering up for thousands and thousands of years, not online, but with people in your community. The effect of mating market dynamics on partner preference and relationship quality among Himba pastoralists was published in Science Advances. Okay, and that's that. Well, let me just share this real quick, baby, and get your thoughts before we go to the break here. So this was a great blog, and it makes sense. I agree with what they're saying, but I think in the specific case of the people in this city of Africa, I think, what is it, Himba or whatever? Where was that city here?
Zimbabwe.
Was it?
I don't know. I can't remember. It was an N word. Nim something.
Namibia. I just scrolled up. Namibia, right?
Namibia, yes.
So these are probably very rural areas. They're not densely populated. Everybody knows everyone, and everybody's accustomed to doing things a certain way as a village, as a community. So it's going to be much easier to relate to people in an environment like that. But when you live in a huge environment, a huge, densely populated area, such as we live in here in the Bay Area, or if you're in New York or Boston or any one of these other major metropolitan areas, it's going to be a whole different ball game because there are so many different types of people doing different types of things. And it's going to be more difficult to relate to someone. It's not impossible, but it's going to be a little more difficult. But the point is that, opposites don't attract, in my opinion, and, basically in the blog author's opinion. You want to look to find people that have similar interests, morals, values, ethics, etc. And yes, physical attraction is important, but does that mean you have to find the hottest man or the hottest woman to be happy? I would rather be with an average-looking woman where I click with on all levels, including the mental, emotional, and spiritual, than, and have a hot woman where I don't click with her in any other way besides physical. And that's what a lot of people don't get. A lot of people, like, especially a lot of women nowadays, and even some men, but a lot of women, they're like, I want the hottest guy, 6 feet or taller, 6 inches or greater below the belt, 6-figure income, 6-pack abs, right? And then he has to have the mental, emotional, spiritual, and everything, right? And that's why a lot of these women are still single, because they find men that have 3 out of the 4, the mental, emotional, and spiritual, But instead of them being a 9 or a 10 on the attraction scale, these guys are a 7 or an 8. So they're like, oh, he's just doesn't, I look at him and he's just not my type, but he has everything else, right? What are your thoughts about this, baby, before we go to the break? Baby, are you there? Oh, you're in here twice. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Bochi hit the phone and he hit the leave button. So I had to come back in.
Okay. Well, you're in here 2 times, but that's okay. We're on the right one. Did you hear what I was saying?
No.
Oh, goodness gracious. I was just asking you to share your thoughts about what I just mentioned. How much of this did you miss, babe?
I don't know. What were you talking about? Like,
if I have to repeat myself, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Make sure that your dog doesn't hit the leave button on StreamYard in the future. Do whatever you can, because it throws things off. We're just wrapping up. Final thoughts on this blog. I was saying that, people that live in this area where the blog author was writing this, basically, it's a smaller town area. It's a rural area, not a densely populated area. And basically, it's easier to connect with people there and relate to people and have more things in common than not because of the smaller environment. When you get into an environment like the San Francisco Bay Area where we're at, or New York or Boston or a major metropolitan area, it's harder to connect with somebody because there are so many different walks of life. It's harder to relate to somebody. Not impossible. You can find it. It just takes longer. What are your thoughts about that before we go to the break? I gave you a little synopsis there.
But no, I totally agree. I live in a very small town. And yeah, it's slim pickings. Like, I tried to look for somebody here and it was just not healthy. So, that's why I got online and I went out of my area. And that's honestly how you can grow your life. If you're in an area that's holding you down, there's nothing here for you to move forward with, then yes, go online, find somebody out of your area and just experience that. Because you don't know what the possibilities are out there.
Okay. Excellent. All right, baby. Excellent first part of the show there. I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage, and we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back in just a little bit. So you're going to go backstage. All right, let's go back to full screen here. All right, music is all queued up. We're going to step away for a quick 8 or 9 minute break, and when we return, we're going to get to the second blog here, which is titled Pros and Cons of Having a Partner Who is Just Like You. One more time, pros and cons of having a partner who is just like you. It's very interesting and quick. It'll probably only take 30 minutes or so to go through when we get back, so you're not going to want to miss it. So with that being said, stick around, round. We'll be right back. YouTube audio library is coming right up, so wait for it, and here we go! Yeah, baby, feel it. I want you all to feel real good. I feel real good. Do you feel real good? Feel it. I want you to get that energy up. Get that energy up. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Ethan Mixell and Double Helix. It's a song I used to play at the beginning and end of a show I used to run on my former channel called Coach Eli Live. And I've got a bunch of those Coach Eli Live episodes uploaded to another channel. They're all on private or unlisted. It's called Coach Eli Classics Videos from my former channel. I've re-uploaded pretty much every video on my former channel. And one day I may release those down the road. Maybe I'll release them as members only content. Lewis Fuller says, you are back. Can you hear me loud and clear, Lewis? Do you feel it? Do you feel the energy, Lewis? Do you feel the energy? Well, let's get right back to it, okay? All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, live on Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams, the future home of most, if not all, of my live streams. This channel is getting very, very close to being monetized. Once that happens, I'll be moving over the live streams to all live streams of this channel, including my Walking with Purpose live streams that are on my main channel currently, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. By the way, you can subscribe to that channel if you'd like. Nightbot's been sharing the link to Coach Eli, Elias Melas, my main channel, every 7 minutes, or just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. Once that happens, we're going to be focusing more on some high-quality pre-recorded content, bite-sized pre-recorded content in the highest quality, 4K at 60 frames per second, on that main channel. And then we will also be creating some more YouTube shorts and even some more members-only content. In addition, 7777 says, I'm fired up. Well, I'm glad you are, brother. I'm glad you are. Lewis says yes as well. I bet my lady who's standing by live on the StreamYard is fired up as well, too. I love that song. It really, really gets me going. But when this channel gets monetized, I'm strongly considering making my live stream chats members only in the future. They will be publicly available, but more than likely, my live stream chats while I'm broadcasting live will probably become members only. I will make a very affordable members only package. It'll be $1.99 or $2.99. It'll be something really, really cheap. And then if I put out more content on this channel, I will create some more members only packages on this channel as well, on top of the members only content on my main channel. Lots and lots of great stuff is coming very soon to the Coach Eli television network, so please make sure you lock it in. Subscribe to this channel here, Coach Eli 2 uncensored live streams. Bang the bell, and make sure after you bang the bell you select all notifications, and that way you won't miss anything. If you do not tap the bell and then select all, you may not get everything. So make sure that you do that. One more thing before we get right back to it and bring my lady back on to go over the second blog. If you would like to make a donation to support my business and my channel, and some of that money is also going to be going to my lady because she is my business partner and my partner in crime. Since this channel is not monetized yet, you can do it in one of two ways, via PayPal or Cash App. Nightbot has been sharing and is going to continue sharing my PayPal and Cash App links in the chat every 7 minutes. On PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/Coach Eli. And on Cash App, you can go to $The Real Coach Eli. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. And by the way, if I do make my chats members only, moderators will be able to bypass that and chat for free. So if you're a moderator, do not worry. You do not have to become a channel member. You can if you want to support my channels further, but that's up to you. Just wanted to make that very, very clear. We really want to focus, my lady and I really want to focus our future content here through both my channels and our coaching business to people that really value it. And if you truly value this content and you can't afford $2 or $3 a month to chat in here, then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we're spending $6, $7, $8 a gallon on gas. $2 or $3 a month is a drop in the bucket for great content and to support two content creators here that really truly care about you and have your best interest in our head and hearts. All right, let's get back to the StreamYard here and bring the lady of the hour back on. Welcome back, lady of the hour.
Well, thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
That break was wonderful. I went outside and I soaked up some sun. And it felt amazing.
Sounds good, baby. Sounds good, baby. Well, let's get to the second blog here because it's not going to take that long. Probably about 30 minutes, maybe 40 at the most. We are at 1 hour and 5 minutes. And my lady and I are going to be trying to keep these shows to about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours max. The shows we do on Monday will probably be longer because she's going to be at my place when we do them usually. But Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we're going to try to keep these shows to right around an hour and a half, which we feel is the sweet spot. So let's switch back over to the browser screen and let's get to this. It'll pop up on your screen in just a minute or so there, babe. I'm going to turn off the chat for a second because you can't see the title the way this is formatted. This is from the Economic Times, Panachi, English edition. And the title is Pros and Cons of Having a Partner Who is Just Like You. One more time, Pros and Cons of Having a Partner Who is Just Like You. Let's turn the chat back on before we forget to do that. And let's scroll down a little bit here. This was written by Glenda Alves from the ET Bureau, and it was last updated February 3rd, 2016. Still fairly recent. That was about a year before I started my first real YouTube channel. My former channel was started in 2017. But this is still very, very relevant to this day. Synopsis. Dating someone who is your mirror image in terms of personality and hobbies is a great idea, but it does come with its own share of problems. Okay, it can be a problem having too many similarities if you allow it to be, but you don't have to allow it to be that way. Look at that happy couple there. Now let's get down and read a little bit more here, and my lady and I will do some commentary along the way. Give me just a second here. Sure, opposites attract, but birds of a feather tend to flock together too. I like that. Birds of a feather tend to flock together too. Do you like that, baby?
I do. I do.
Are you and I birds of a feather?
We absolutely are.
That sounds so corny.
I don't care how corny it sounds. It's the truth. Give me a truth bomb there.
Give you a truth bomb, baby? You want a truth bomb?
I want a truth bomb.
Say that again, baby. What do you want?
Yes.
Say that again, baby. What do you want? You missed that.
Oh,
You want a truth bomb, right?
Yeah, I wanted the truth bomb because what was said is so true.
Yeah. No, absolutely, baby. I was going to say something really, really witty, but I remember what I was going to say now. You see, baby, when a woman is really into a guy, she's physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally attracted to him, that guy can get away with all the corny shit in the world, right? So
Yes.
this is what people don't understand. It's not about not being corny. You can't be corny until you know the woman is totally into you. Once the woman's totally into you, all that corny shit is what she wants, right? But then you still don't want to overdo the corny shit, but you get what I'm saying, right? Let's continue here. Okay. Dating someone who is your mirror image in terms of personality and hobbies is a great idea, but it does come with its own share of problems. Here's what you need to watch out for if you and your partner are on the same page of the same book. Okay. Let's see what they had to say. We love the same things. Pro. Great. That means every weekend you get to do exactly what you want without any wounded glances from your better half. Sharing hobbies is one of the best reasons to date someone who has the same outlook as you. Con. Too much similarity often means that the both of you aren't going to push each other to try something new. Also, doing the same thing with the same person all the time can get tedious. So developing solo hobbies is a great way to keep the relationship interesting. Let me share my thoughts real quick here before you share yours. Okay, babe?
Okay.
So, you see, here's my idea, or what I feel works for me, and has worked for my relationships. I think you need to be with someone that shares a lot of similar interests, not just one or two similar interests. When you meet someone that has 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 similar interests as you do, right? That means you can switch it up every weekend and do something different that's of a similar interest and change it up. Now, after a while, you're going to go back to doing the same thing. But here's the thing. You can do the same thing in a different location, and that's changing it up. So, for example, if you and I are going to go hiking, baby, we can go to different hiking areas and explore different areas, in the U.S. While we do it, right? So that's the way I look at it. I don't think there's really a con here. Too much similarity often means that the both of you aren't going to push each other to try something new. Well, I'm open to trying new things, and so are you. And we've tried, some new things that you and I may not completely 100% like about the opposite, but like enough to try them. But for the most part, you and I have way more similarities than differences, and we switch up those similarities by going to different location and shuffling through the different similarities we have and not repeating things, for a while down the road. What are your thoughts about what the blog said and what I said, baby?
Okay, so yeah, the pro part is on point there. The con, okay, so yes, when you do the same thing with the same person all the time, it is tedious. And in the beginning of our relationships, or our relationship, I'm sorry, most of our dates just included walks. And that got very tedious to me because I had other things I wanted to do. So developing a solo hobby is a great way, yes, to keep the relationship interesting, because then you can offer something else that may bring their interest in, and you're not doing that repetition all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And baby, also in the beginning of our relationship, typically the first 3 months is the honeymoon period. You're getting to know each other before you want to fully invest and become more open to trying different things and stuff like that. Also, for the first 3 months, maybe 4, even 5 months of our relationship, maybe 4 months, 4.5 months, you were going through a lot. You were struggling a lot with your depression, with your anxiety, with your drinking, all of that. And it wasn't until you decided to get the help and go to your doctor and get on some medication and start taking better care of yourself. You do recall that, right?
Yes.
So at that point, when I realized that, you are making more of an effort to better your health, that's when I started to really open the doors to doing more things. Because when we used to go to places, baby, you would have so many panic attacks. We would have to call 911, the ambulance, and we'd take you to the emergency room. They'd give you some anxiety medication, and then you were fine. And then I'm like, shit, well, why don't we just have you go to the doctor and have them prescribe you the same stuff that you're going to the ER for or the urgent care for, right? And once you did that, wow, the possibilities just became endless between us, baby. What are your thoughts before we move on?
Oh, I totally agree. I absolutely agree with that statement. Um, I was going through a lot of abandonment issues and fear of getting into another relationship and being hurt. And yeah, once I got the medication and I was able to regulate that, everything
Mm-hmm.
got better.
Wow, baby. Breaking news hasn't shown up on your screen yet. Sifu Smo, Dion's in the house. He's saying, I'm getting married in September. Big, huge round of applause.
Dion, I love it.
Wow. That must mean there's no trouble in paradise.
Nope, they're good.
Wow. So Sifu Smo, aka Dion. I noticed you went live last night. I tuned in for a little bit, but I didn't chat. Sifu Smo Dion. How did this happen? I hope you were the one that proposed to her, bro. That's no disrespect. That's the manly thing to do. Please don't tell us, Dion, that your woman proposed to you. In this modern world, I wouldn't be surprised, babe. Anything goes. But wow. I know there's about a minute delay before it gets to the chat, so it's going to be a little bit before he responds. But congratulations, Dion, and good for you
I'm
for
just
stepping
so
it.
elated right now. So
Yeah,
happy for you, Dion.
Dion's lady is what, about 3 months pregnant now. She's probably about to enter her second trimester, baby, and yeah, he's doing his best to step it up.
Yeah,
We're proud of you,
please,
bro.
Dion, please message me privately and let me know what's going on. I'm interested.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right, baby, let's continue. The next one is we know each other well. The pro to that, the blog says, when you're dating someone who has almost identical personality traits as you, reading them becomes easier. Oh, yeah, baby. You can read me and I can read you. And when
I
you
can read
read
you
me,
like a book.
oh, me too, baby. We can read each other. And
Yeah,
that's not a
go
bad
back
thing
and
because
forth.
it's not a bad thing because we can quickly identify when the other side is having an issue that may not necessarily be about our relationship, but any issue within themselves. And I can say, baby, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Oh, there's nothing wrong, baby. Tell me what's going on so I can help you through it. Baby, there's nothing going on. Baby, when a woman says there's nothing wrong, there's something really fucking wrong. So please, let's talk about it. Come here and give me a hug. No. No. Come here and give me a hug. No. Then I still go over there, give you a hug, and then all of a sudden you calm down and you feel my strength and you feel my hot, sexy body, baby. I had to toot my own horn for once,
Sexy as
and
fuck.
then it's like, and then she like gives up, she caves, right? And then we talk about it, and it's all good. But because we're able to read each other so well, we're able to tackle any issues that arise very quickly and not let them affect us from moving forward, through that day or moving forward in our relationship. Fair statement before we move on, baby. I mean, that was well said, right? I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that was well said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Your lady isn't exactly a revelation for you because you don't understand every frown, smile, laugh, and gasp, which takes the understanding and communication between you and your woman to a whole new level. I think
Good
when
job,
you
Dion.
learn what let's see here. Dion says a psychotic savage is good. Sifu Smo, oh, sorry, Psychotic Savage, how you doing? Hey, buddy, how you doing, Psychotic Savage? Welcome, bro. I'm on here with my lady, and we're still together. It's been about 10 months now. 7777. Wow, at Sifu Smo, great. Sifu Smo, Dion says, haha, no, I proposed to her. So he put out her name out there, which is, it's the same name as your daughter. You both have gone public. Always mention the lady's name first, no disrespect. Ashley and I are more in love than we ever have been. Well, what happened, bro? What was the revelation? I mean, tell us the secret, Dion. And we got to, you know what? We got to get you on a live stream to talk about this one of these days. Maybe next week we'll do that. Sifu Smo, Dion says, the Turbo Tongue 3000 helped save my marriage. You're not married yet. Helped save your relationship. Why do you guys say help save my marriage when you're not even legally married yet? In one sentence, you're like, I'm getting married in September. And then down below, you say, the Turbo Tongue 3000 helped save my marriage. Well, dude, let me tell you something. The Turbo Tongue comes in very handy. I mean, baby,
told you, Dion. I know the way to a lady's heart.
Like, let me tell you something. I like being pleased in that way, too. But to be quite honestly, I more so enjoy pleasing my lady with a turbo tongue than her pleasing me down in my lower region. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy that. But like what makes me happy is turning my woman on and making her feel good. And yeah, a lot of guys, there are guys out here on YouTube that do not like licking the turbo tongue area of a woman, right? And I got to tell you, I mean, there's not a woman on the planet that doesn't like that. So I'm glad that I'm sure it was more than the Turbo Tongue 3000, Dion, that helped save your relationship. But congratulations to you and Ashley. It's just ironic that his fiance, wow, she's your fiance and you're her fiance, right? Has the same name as your daughter. Anyway,
I know,
baby,
right?
Yeah, that's just the irony in that is the irony in that, baby,
is just over the moon.
77 says Turbo Tongue is a solution to all the world's problems. We're going to give you a big round of applause for that. Go ahead.
No, I absolutely agree. If you have, like, if your relationship is okay, but you guys are struggling, the best way to reconnect is get in there and just devour each other.
Yeah, I know.
That's the best thing. That brings you guys back together.
Oh, what happened here?
I don't know.
Did I scroll back up to the top here?
Yep.
I don't know what happened here. Okay.
You got excited with the Turbo Tongue.
Yeah, I guess so. Let me get back there. So let's read this again. We have the same goals. Couples who share a lot in common are very similar and often are on the same path when it comes to their professional. Actually, did I miss a part here? Okay, no, we know each other well. Sorry about that. It must have scrolled up by accident. So here's the con to what we were just saying. Con, however, that also means that you both know how to push each other's buttons. Sure, she knows what will make you smile, but she also knows what will tick you off. So while conversations may take you to a whole new level, we're sure your arguments catch fire within seconds too. Yeah, well, listen, you're going to have arguments with your partner. Sometimes your man's going to call you out on your shit. Sometimes, baby, you're going to call me out on my shit. And I think that's what creates a well-balanced and healthy relationship. a man and a woman that truly love each other and are compatible and care for each other, they're going to call each other out on each other's shit. And yeah, they might have a little spat about it. But, it's going to last a few minutes. And then you sit down for half an hour
what
and
it's about?
What's that?
It's all about testing the strengths of your partner. And
okay, speak a little bit more about that. Women do that all the damn time, baby. Share about what you mean by testing your man's strength. It's more so women doing this to men. But I shit test women too, and you know that, but it's primarily women doing it to men. Yes. But go ahead.
No, it is. And crap. I had a really good point. Okay, so we were talking about, remind me please, because I'm reading the stupid things. What was I going to say?
So, we were talking about how, you can have a little spat with your partner, and then, you go at each other a little bit, and then, you sit down, you talk about it for a half hour or so. And then I was going to say after that, you can end up making love, having sex, or going out and having a good time. But I think it is very healthy to call each other out on our shit. And when you do that, when you do that, you're showing self-respect to the other person, and they're showing you self-respect.
That was where I was going.
It's about self-respect. What's attractive to a woman is a man that has self-love and self-respect. And on the flip side, the same thing is attractive to men. And even though women are emotional beings and it's harder for them to have self-respect and self-love, if you as a woman can work up to that, you're going to be more attractive to your man. Go ahead.
Yes, no. That's what I wanted to touch on. In the last relationship I was in, the man I was dating had no self-respect. He had no drive. He was willing to just stay in the same clothes every day and not shave, play video games, and work his night job. And he had no motivation for an end game with us. And that turned me off so much. It was so non-compatible for what I was looking for in life and what he was looking for.
So you were incompatible.
Yeah, we had not a lot of similarities in that era. Like, I tried, I did my best, but it didn't, I couldn't live with myself without knowing that I didn't have a secure future with this guy.
Okay.
So he was very he's a good man, but he's just not for me.
Yeah, he doesn't have his shit together yet. Maybe he'll get there one day. Let me read a few chat messages before we continue, babe. Psychotic Savage, I've known him for quite a while. My fiance and I are doing better than the last few months, and we do plan on getting married, but waiting till we are up on our own feet money-wise, like we want to pay for our own marriage. Well, nothing wrong with, allowing your families to contribute. You should get your families involved, but I think you want to get yourselves into more of a financially independent situation. And that's very, very important, especially for the man. And nowadays, because women are liberated, yes, it's important for them too, but at least the man needs to be financially independent and be able to provide and take care of the lady and the family, in the meantime. Sifu Smo, Dion said, I couldn't believe my lady has the same name as your lady's daughter. Yeah. Sifu Smo, Dion furthermore says Ashley has a high sex drive, even being pregnant. It's gonna be higher than that when she's pregnant.
My
babe.
God, yes.
I called him babe. I was calling you babe. Dion.
Yes.
I didn't mean to call you babe. I was on the 40 and slip. I meant to call my lady babe. But Dion, yeah, the hormones are raging like 10 times stronger in all ways, including sexually, when a woman is pregnant. And so he goes, it is so hard to keep up with her at times. Well, yeah, and my woman has a very, very high sex drive, and normally I do too, but for the last couple of years I've been suffering with some sciatica, and now I've got an ingrown toenail that I've been, taking care of, and I'm getting back to normal, so that's coming back. But yeah, I know you have a lot of energy, Dion, and so do I. And it's not that we can't keep up with our women, but sometimes us men, as we get older, we experience some things physically, not in our lower region, but in other parts of our body. Like we get sciatica, we get, herniated discs. Things happen that affect us from having that same energy. So I totally get it, man. I totally get it. But even at a normal level, yes, when a woman is pregnant, baby, like when you were pregnant, you were still having intercourse with your husband. If it's not too personal, when you were pregnant, you were still doing it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your hormones are raging at that time. And they actually encourage it. Doctors encourage it.
Yeah.
Because what it does is it releases the women's hormones that are natural for this baby being inside of her.
Yeah. And see, Dion, the great thing now is you can bust nuts now and not worry about getting her pregnant again, at least until she has the baby. And have you two, if it's not too personal, have you decided to get your woman on the IUD or something after she delivers? Because you're still going to have sex and she's going to drop the pregnancy weight. And then you two are going to want to, how do we say it, baby? Raw dog it? That's what people do, right? No, I mean, they're
baby. Once you have your first child,
you can get pregnant very, very easily.
You can get pregnant very easily because the hormones are so escalated. But that's usually, if they're getting married and they want a family, that's the best time to do it. Knock the two out right away, back to back. That way they can live in their, late 40s and not have to worry about these fucking kids,
Well, that's not the right way to say it, baby. I mean, when you say these fucking kids.
I mean, but that's how I did it. I had my children young, and I didn't get to experience my 20s like everybody else does.
Right.
But once my children grew up, I could experience my 40s without worrying because they were grown ass people.
Right.
I didn't have to be home to take care of them. They were moved out, everything. That's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, fair enough there. Psychotic Savage says, I couldn't even tell you the stuff she was doing. It would be appropriate. I would have to, you mean inappropriate is what you're probably trying to say. I would have to tell you behind the scenes. The only thing I can say, it was because of her depression. Well, I can understand what you're saying, brother. And my lady, I don't know if you've been following her story. Go back and watch some of the streams on this channel here with my lady. She suffers from, clinical depression and clinical anxiety, but you hear her right now. She's functioning perfectly. She's taken the right steps to turn her life around, get the right medication, get the right support. And, it's amazing, how I've seen this amazing woman I've been with for the last 10 months and on this show with me right now. It's amazing to see her transformation. It just blows me away. Sifu Smo says, being okay. I don't know what you meant by that, Dion, but let's continue, baby, because we need to wrap this up soon. We are at 1 hour and 33 minutes. Let me see how much longer do we have here? How many more do we have? We just have a couple more. So, folks, get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We're going to be going off the air probably in about 10 to 15 minutes. We have the same goals. The pro to that, according to the blog, is couples who share a lot in common and are very similar are often on the same path when it comes to their professional lives. I think that's a great thing. Having someone going through the same as you are in the workplace can be reassuring and engaging. But, well, let's talk about the pros real quick, baby. The fact that, when you were, in retail management as an assistant store manager, the fact that I had experienced that and had dealt with the same shit you were going through, didn't that connect us at a deep level? And didn't you feel great that I truly understood what you were going through, not only in your personal life, but in your work life as well?
Yes. And vice versa. What you were doing was helping me on the back end. When I would watch your shows and listen to you, that also helped me.
Baby, real quick, if ODN, Old Dirty Ninja, was here and he heard you say I was helping you on the back end, he would take that way out of context. But please continue, baby. I just had to throw that in there.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. No, we don't do the back end, but you know what I'm saying. My goodness. Exit only, ODN.
Oh, man, that was great. That was great. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. If you didn't lose your train of thought.
Yeah, no, but like, while you were helping me to deal with my stuff, you didn't realize that your streams were also helping me.
Yeah, and baby, there was that time where, I was going to take a few week break. You were still working, and the only reason why I hid my main channel, and the only reason why I unhid it the very next day is because you told me how much those walking streams meant to you and helped you get through your work days and were helping you get through every day in life. And I'm like, I do not want to take this away from my lady. And I mean, honestly, baby, you have made a huge difference in my life personally and professionally. And I'm very proud of you, and I'm very grateful and thankful. So this is what happens. This damn thing goes to the top every now and then automatically. I just saw it happen on my screen.
What?
Oh. It's funny. Like, the blog automatically just goes back to the top. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, that's stupid. All right, let's carry on.
Well, okay. Let me read the chat here real quick. Sifu Smo Dion says she will definitely be on an IUD. Has she agreed to that, brother? And see, with that IUD, bro, you can bust loads all day, every day, man, and really not have to worry about it. That's great.
The
See,
beautiful thing is, you can remove it when you want to have a baby
and get pregnant
you
right away.
Plan your child.
Right, but I would probably recommend getting the non-hormonal. I think that's the one you got, baby, the non-hormonal, because the hormonal releases estrogen, and once you remove that, it may take you longer to get pregnant when you want to get pregnant, because there's still some estrogen being released there.
It all depends on your age. We read this. It all depends on your age, which one doctors are going to put in there. At my age, they're not going to give me any extra hormones.
Right.
But
right.
While you're younger, yes.
Well, and the hormonal IUD, if I remember correctly, it stops your period. So you don't have a period. So that means you could bang all day, every day, any part of the month, and your woman will not get a period. But with the non-hormonal one, it's just like normal.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see.
Right, let's go back to the chat.
Well, real quick, I'm going to read this. I'm reading it, baby. Sometimes I have to pop an Adderall and Monster Energy drink to keep up. Haha. I get it, dude. She's 25 years old. Women are the horniest during that time when they're younger.
So
now, don't get me wrong.
Go on that long.
Right. When women are in their 20s, they're super. That's because that's when they're most fertile. Their teens and 20s, and their hormones are raging out of control. They want to get knocked up. even if they don't, like women were made biologically designed to get pregnant. I mean, the act that we do now for recreation purposes has always been to procreate, and now we just have fun with it. Next thing you know, oh, my girlfriend's pregnant. Oh. Well, that's the point
Damn.
of that's the whole point of doing it. What?
Oh no,
Okay,
I'm saying that's the result. Oh damn, my
right.
girlfriend's pregnant. Fuck.
Right. Let's see. Sifu Smo Dion furthermore says, Ashley and I are polar opposites. I honestly don't know how we got together sometimes. Well, dude, you must be a master of the lower region, brother. And here's the thing. I think your woman sees greatness in you. I think she sees you as a good dude that is just trying to get everything together. And
And
she has
I
faith in you that by the time you maybe hit a few years from now, by your mid-30s, you're going to be a really grown-ass mature man. I'm not saying you're not there yet, bro, but you've been working on it. And when I was your age, in my early 30s, I'm not going to say I wasn't how do I say this the right way? I was probably a little further ahead than you, but not that much further ahead than you in understanding this. So I get where you're going through. You're getting there. She has faith in you that you're a good dude. You're getting there, and you're going to be there. She's investing in you futuristically. Go ahead, baby, if that makes sense.
absolutely, that is a little bit I was going to touch on. Um she has
Intuition.
faith in you beyond. I'm sure she had interest in your career with martial arts, and you know, like, just embrace that. That's what I did with Eli, is like I looked into his purpose, and that's how I found the man that I loved. And I knew he was good and solid, and I'm sure she knows the same thing about you. I'm sure you guys do have a lot of similarities. You guys just
And
are young.
women are very intuitive and have great instinct, much better than men
Oh my
usually.
God, he has the
I'm just
best instincts.
I'm just one of the few men that has like the male version of women's intuition. I'm that intuitive. But yeah, dude, it's your
That's
woman's
because of
intuit.
mama.
Your Huh?
That's because your mother taught you that.
I
She's the
guess so.
queen of intuition.
Oh, she's the hawk. She's the hawk, baby.
Yeah,
She's
she knows
anyway.
everything before it happens.
Yeah, and it got kind of annoying at times being younger, but you get older and you appreciate that. But anyway, we can talk about my mother another time. God bless her.
I love
Wonderful woman. But let's keep going here. Sifu Smo Dion says, LOL. Psychotic Savage says, like her family isn't very nice to her, like very inappropriate stuff that involves abuse. So I can understand why she is going through a bit of depression. She's back on meds to help it. That's the best thing you can do, bro. And my
Yep.
lady, she comes from a good family, but her family sometimes has some issues, and they aren't
A
able
lot of tough
to.
love.
Yeah, they give a lot of tough love, and that's good some of the time. But the other times, you need to. I wouldn't call it coddling your kids, even at this age, baby, at your age. I would say you need to be, less in your face. They need to be less in your face at times. So I get it. All parents
Yeah,
are
just a
different.
little bit of reassurance that everything's gonna be okay.
Right. I just was my brother and I, my one younger brother and I were fortunate that we had two great parents that had a well balance regarding all of this. And even as we got older, they still treated us like we're their kids. They never wanted to get rid of us at 18. They never stopped loving us, etc. Real quick, Sifu Smo says, great show tonight, guys. Well, Dion, it's only 3:50 p.m. Eastern, 12:50 p.m. Pacific. Ashley loves you guys. Well, that's great, Ashley.
I love Ashley too.
You know what I used to maybe Ashley will like this one, baby. because we've talked about your daughter. We're not going to get into it here today, but I've kind of made fun of your daughter, saying that, she loves money and she loves her man's money and other people's money. And I started calling her Cashly, Cashly. Just make sure that your woman is not like Cashly and depletes all your funds. Well, you're having a kid with her. So, bro, your funds are, where your funds are going, bro. I mean, hey, here's the thing. Now that you two are getting married, Dion, you can file your taxes jointly, and that you have a kid, you're gonna have more deductions. You're gonna have more. You're gonna have more deductions, Dion. So, yeah. If you wanna tease your woman a bit, just call her Cashly, Cashly, because women love it when men. Women
don't do that, because that is going to trigger and cause a fight.
Well, that's the point. Well, the point's not to cause a fight. The point is to tease her in a loving and playful way, baby. Come on, baby. We can't be loving and playful. Come on.
You can, but that's when you're talking to a woman that has been accused of locking a man down with a pregnancy, and then you're calling her Cashly, you're basically calling her a gold digger, and that's not fair. That's not what happened.
No, that's not what happened. What I'm saying is, he's laughing. He's like, Cashly. That's great, man. Oh, he loves it, man. He loves it.
Yeah.
Cashly. Baby, that's gotta be the baby, that's gotta be the greatest thing I've come up with to come back at women. Because, a lot of women do use men for their money. I'm sure Dion's woman is not like that. And I'm sure, I don't know about your daughter, but I'm sure she wants to be better than that, right? It's just a joke. It's funny. Sifu Smo says, Dion says, I think I can get $4,000 per kid a year. Well, no, you can write it's you basically write it off, bro. I mean, it's part of your taxes. When you're married, you file jointly, you get a better tax deduction, and when you have kids, you have
tax deduction of $4,000.
You have per dependent. Yes, it's called a dependent. All right, we're not here to talk about taxes. Let's get back to the show. We got to wrap this up. This Cashly thing is really, 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 really making Dion laugh his ass off. That's great, man. We're glad we can make you and Cashly or Ashley laugh today. It's all good. All right. Let me
listen to this shit.
Okay. The con. All right, baby. The con regarding we have the same goals is it can also turn you into competitors. I don't compete with women. You will eventually start comparing yourselves to each other, which can get nasty. So when one wins, say in the form of a raise or promotion, it can result in jealousy and feelings of resentment. That's why, as the man, and listen, no disrespect to women. Women can make good money, no problem. But if the man's not making just a little bit more money than the woman, the man's going to feel like inferior, and the woman's going to feel like she's wearing the pants, and the sexual polarity will be off, and it'll cause the woman to lose respect for you, and yada, yada, yada. We don't have to get into it. But here's the thing, baby.
I disagree with that, baby.
Okay, well, let me finish before you.
Goals,
well, you just don't let me finish.
If we have the same goals, how does it turn into a competition? Like,
baby, that's why
symbiotic and want the same positive goals for each other, then how does it turn nasty?
Well, we're so much alike. I was just going to say the same thing in different words, baby, but you cut me off, and that's okay. I mean, I love you. And what I was going to say is this. We've talked about it before. I'll say it again. I don't compete with you. I don't want to compete with my woman. I want my woman and I to be on the same playing field at the same level. Okay. And so, whenever it turns into, competition and we start arguing over something, baby, I say, look, baby, I'm not trying to be any better than you. And, it's like, you're not any better than me. We're the same thing here. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to fight you. You're my rock. I'm your rock. You're my partner in life. And I don't want to argue my woman. There's no point to arguing a woman. I just want to love you and enjoy you and live life with you. Right. And here's the thing. That's why we're working together here, babe. That's why, I brought you into my business, because you really got a lot of value from it, and you realize that this is part of your true purpose. You were a nurse at one point, and this is going to allow you to further help people in the ways you used to help them. There it goes. It went off the screen again. Like every so often, it goes off the damn screen. Anyway, so let's see here. Anything else you want to add to that, baby?
Well, the only other thing is that with you and I, we're a team. And if I make a little bit more money than you a year, you have no problem, because the money is ours. If you make more money than I do, I have no problem. We're both contributing to our future. And that's how I look at it. It's not a competition. We are a team.
Right. No, I couldn't have said it better myself. As a matter of fact, babe, I'm going to give you a big round of applause. No, babe, I could not have said it better myself. And wait till we read the last one here. We're getting to the last section here. And with that said, folks, please get your questions, comments, or concerns in the chat. We'll be going off the air probably about 10 minutes or less. Let's get to this, baby, because this is interesting. We are so comfortable with each other. Ooh, that can be an issue. The pro is when you and your girl are alike, your comfort zone turns extra cozy. As long as you don't get lazy, that's exactly where you want to be. But a lot of people get so comfortable, they stop taking care of themselves. Guys will gain weight, women will gain weight, okay? And you cannot change the way that you were before you met your partner than, you are, once you're together. Your life together is content, and you both fall into designated roles and patterns day in, day out. I'm the kind of man, and we talked about this, baby, I equally share in the household responsibilities, and you and I get along because we both are willing to do anything and everything in the relationship. We are not saying that there aren't any traditional gender roles, but we've taken all those traditional roles, and we both are able to do any of those roles, whether it's the man or the woman doing it. And you may think it is a start to your happily ever after, but it could also lead to the con. But let's talk about the pro real quick, baby. In your opinion, what were your thoughts about that?
Which one, the pro?
Yes, the pro and everything I just mentioned.
Yeah, we sometimes you do get into a lazy, cozy zone. And it gets repetitious. And that can also lead to unhappiness.
Right.
Because you're bored. You're bored in your life. Your patterns are the same. You get up every day, you go to work, you come home, you do the same things. There's no spontaneity in the relationship.
Right.
You've lost you're way too comfortable. You're way too comfortable. You've lost that spontaneity of trying to
You've lost
ignite
that
fire.
love and feeling. Anyway, go ahead, baby. Sorry. Yeah.
I believe that's what happens, and that's what happens a lot in marriages. Especially with children, you go through your routines every day. You get up, you go to work, you take the kids to school, you come home, you do homework, you bathe them, dinner, all that stuff. And there's no time left for mom and dad to be a couple.
Right.
So
We
that
gotta
is
find
the rub.
we gotta find time to raw dog it and bust nuts. I get it.
Not only
Right.
that, it's just, when you're married and you have children, you need to have a day where you just have a date day to
Date night.
keep that
Right.
spark alive.
Right. You
You
need a
go
day
out
away.
without the kids, whether you just go on a walk outside without the kids, or you go to dinner, or you go bowling, or whatever. It could be totally low key, but the
Right.
two of you need to spend the time together to reconnect every week outside
No,
of your repetitions.
you're right. And that's where grandparents come into place. I'm sure that, you've got, the grandparents, Dion and Ashley or Cashley, however you want to say it. I'm sorry. That just cracks me up. I love that name, Cashley. I just love it. I mean, listen, when I was younger, I've dated some women in the past that
name that dog
listen,
Cashley.
listen. I've dated some gold digging women in the past, but you don't realize it, when you're younger. And the truth of the matter is, it's my fault. It's the guy's fault for falling for that shit. But see, the first time you go through it, you have to learn from it. And then when you make the mistake the second time, then you really learn from it, and then you just don't let it happen to you again. So Dion and I are just kind of laughing and saying, the name Cashley just flows, because what woman doesn't want a man that has cash? Do you want a man that has no cash, baby? I mean, listen, I know it's more than the money, but you don't want to. I don't want no scrub. A scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying
to holler at me.
Trying to holler at me, right? You don't want no scrub, right? Right?
Nope.
So what woman doesn't like cash, Lee? Cash, I mean.
It's
cash.
all about security.
I know.
It's not gold digging, it's security. When we have a child with somebody, we want to make sure that our child is going to be financially taken care of.
Now, baby, I cannot let you say the second line of this song because that could take the video down. But there was that song, she ain't nothing but a gold digger. She ain't messing with no broke. I'm not gonna say beep beep. No, listen. There was a radio edit and there was the non-radio edit. And she ain't messing with no broke. We're not going to say that derogatory phrase, but I'm sure Dion and his woman will get a kick out of that. Anyway. Yeah. Baby, bonus points if you remember who was the rapper in that song.
I do. It is Kanye West.
Kanye West, big round of applause. Let's bring back some good old Kanye West. Kanye West. Wow. See, baby, we really truly are on the same page. We really are.
I know my music. I know my music.
Baby, you knew Kanye West. She ain't nothing but a gold digger. She ain't messing with no broke beep beep beep. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on here. Okay, the con. Let me just scroll here so it doesn't go off screen. You two getting stuck in a rut, and because it is just so comfortable there, neither of you have the interest or capability to get yourselves out of it. Dating someone who is the mirror image of you is great in the long run and often leads to a happy couple, provided you both take the time to develop your own interests for the sake of your mental health and hers. With my lady, with us, baby, we have, I'll tell you, at least 80 to 85% of our interests are similar and in alignment. Yes, there are a few things maybe you like that, you like more than myself and vice versa, but it's not something that the other side wouldn't be open to doing every now and then, and we've done that. And so nothing wrong with us having way more similarities and differences. Where it becomes a problem is, if you become lazy, you start taking each other for granted. Um, you know, and the truth of the matter is this. This is what it all boils down to, in my opinion, baby. And you tell me what you think before we wrap it up. When a man and a woman are really, truly into each other and love each other, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, there's really not much that can tear them apart. Okay? With the exception of cheating or stupid shit, right? But besides that, there's really not much that can tear them apart. And with me, when I really love someone and care for someone, and I can tell they feel the same way about me, it doesn't matter where we're at or what we're doing, as long as we're together and holding hands and talking and singing songs and enjoying life together. This more so boils down to compatibility, overall compatibility at a mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical level. The rest of everything else just falls into place. When you love someone, again, it doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. What matters is the time you're spending together. Baby, I don't know if there's any more of a beautiful way to end this show, but what are your final thoughts before we go off the air?
Yeah, church on that. I absolutely agree. There are times when you and I have been out all day and doing things, and we come home and all we do is lay there on the couch and hold each other, and that is the most special time in my life. The fact that we can just lay there in each other's arms and have an emotional moment is beyond words. And we have, honestly, in my experience of all of my relationships, we have the best one. We are in sync with each other. We know each other's feelings. We read each other like a freaking book. And, we know how to deal with each other's emotions and everything else. And at the end of the night, there's no fight. There's no anger. There's no malice. There's only love. Just pure, unconditional love. Are you there?
Yeah,
Boo?
sorry, I had muted for a second. I heard what you said, baby, and it was well said. I've just taken care of something in the chat here.
Yeah, I saw what was said.
Dion, listen, brother. Um, I banned you by mistake and unbanned you. I was just trying to delete that message, one of the messages you put, and I remoderated you. You're fine. Please do not bring drama into my channel. Please do not mention the names of any known drama people from the past. I do not appreciate that. You know that. And that was not a cool thing to say or do. So that's all I'm going to say there, bro. And again, I don't want any trouble with anybody. I am not looking to feed into drama. I've moved past it. You've mentioned you moved past it, and you continue to instigate drama. So please, I removed that. Unfortunately, all of your messages, at least in the chat portion, is going to be is going to be lost. Yeah. So anyway, please don't cause issues for my channel, Dion. Please don't do that. I have moved on, and I'm hoping you move on too.
Dion, there's ways to do it better. You could just say, yeah, there's other gold diggers out there. You don't have to name anybody's name. You could just speak on the fact that, yeah, there's a lot of us out there, us women that are gold diggers. But you don't have to name anybody's name, because that's going to bring the drama and bring her back to our channel, and we don't want her there.
I'm not talking about anyone. No, you don't need to go that far into it yourself, babe, because this is the shit that these people want from that other side, and I don't want to talk about them. So here's my final thought on this. Dion, please do not ever mention any drama stuff again from that group or other drama groups, because that's going to terminate our friendship. I don't want that to happen. I want us to move forward in respectful, mature, and professional ways. So I hope you understand that. Now, let's wrap up this show, baby.
All righty.
What are your final thoughts? Any other final thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts is this was a great show. It went really in depth on couples and finding that symbiotic relationship. You have to really, like you say, vet your partners. Find the ones that are going to work with you. Don't settle for anything else. Don't just feed into that lust, sexual attraction. Make sure it's real, because then that's what's going to make you happiest. There's going to be no resentment. There's going to be no anger. It's all just happiness. And yes, you will bicker. You will fight at times. But the best thing about that is at the end of the day, when you come back together and you resolve it. And when you have similar goals and minds and interests, that's when that happens.
Right.
So it's a lot of compromise. It's a lot of conversations, communicating in the best way. And that's what's going to make the best relationship work.
Yeah. Dion, listen, Dion. I'm not okay. You see this, baby? This is the kind of stuff.
No.
He goes, I understand you're upset, but it is true. I don't care about what other people do, and I don't know of anything to be true or not true. And again, right now, you're really beginning to push the issue here. And Dion, I'm going to say this. Hey, if you don't, hold on a second.
I don't see this message.
Well, it hasn't popped up on your screen yet because it just came in the chat. There's a minute delay. Okay. I'm not here to attack people. I'm not here to talk shit about people. And I would not expect you to be reinstigating this, Dion. And if you don't stop, then we're going to remove you. Okay? That's the bottom line. I don't want any drama here. And you're now bringing drama to my channel.
I'm not happy.
What do you mean you're not happy?
Well, I mean, you know how I feel about Dion.
He's instigating drama on our channel again. Okay? That's what he's doing. It's not cool. I don't appreciate it. So you want to talk with him behind the scenes about it? Then that's fine. But this is exactly what the drama people want. And if he's going to be a leak back into this drama sphere, then I'm going to have to remove him. As a matter of fact, Dion, here's the thing. I'm going to keep you around, but I'm going to remove your moderator wrench because I'm not going to have...
Do not do that.
I'm going to do that because then moderators...
As your partner, I'm asking you not to.
No, I'm not going to ban Dion. I'm going to remove the mod wrench because my spam filters do not work on moderators. And the stuff he was talking about would have been blocked through my block words list. Okay? So that's that.
I disagree, but you do you.
I'm going to do me. I made an executive decision, and that's what we're going to do. So that is that. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up, baby.
Don't agree.
What's that?
I don't agree.
Well, tough luck you don't agree. Tough luck you don't agree. My rules here are simple. No trolling, no attacking, no hating. Well, Dion, that doesn't mean you attack people from a former drama group that I've been trying to ignore and move past and create my own content. And you're bringing back drama to my channel. And I don't appreciate that. So you either need to stop or, we're going to have to move on, Dion. It's your choice. It's your choice on that.
Dion, we'll talk behind the scenes.
That's fine. That's fine. This is the stuff that people do, and they plot and plan these things because it gets them attention. I'm not thrilled by this, but it's okay. Let's wrap the show up, baby. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to put you backstage, and you can hear the rest of the show. I'm only going to be on another minute or so. You can hear the rest of the show on the screen, right, baby. Thank you so much, baby.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing, folks. Later today, I'm going to be going live from my main channel, Coach Eli, Elias Melas. Probably going to be going live from a walk in a couple of hours, probably around 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, and then we're going to call it a night. I'm not going to do that second show tonight that we were talking about earlier. We'll probably do that one tomorrow night. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Have yourselves a good one, and we'll see you all next time. And as always, be good to each other. Whoops. Not be right back. Okay, we're done. There we go.